Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thanks for watching my new video. I'm answering some of your questions that I've received via IG stories. So yeah, I hope you guys like it. Enjoy watching. Remember guys, I asked you on stories if you had any questions for me. I was actually going to do a IGTV video with like the Q&A, but I thought, I could do two in one. But I'm going to answer some questions while I'm going to get ready. I think I'm going for a natural look since it's extremely hot outside, and lately I'm not really I'm always into dramatic looks, but I'm just like, when it's that hot, I just want to look a little bit more effortless, I think. And this is going to be tough for me because you guys know how much I ramble. And the thing is, I actually don't ramble too much in life, but since English is not my first language, like you could probably say like something you want to say in one sentence, but it takes me like 5 sentences to make my points. At least that's how I feel like it is, because in Dutch I can just come straight to the point, and with English I do find it a little bit more difficult. So bear with me until my English is like improved. Anyways, I have your questions over here and I'm just going to try to answer as many as possible. And because I can't do a lot of things at the same time, it's going to be tough, and I'm going to try not to talk too much. Do you guys want me to mention the makeup products, or is this going to take too long? I will mention it real quick. Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter Primer. I'm just going to put it all over my face. This used to be too dark and now it's almost light. Okay, let's see. First question. This is from Seram. I love you. She is super supportive always. How do you manage all of this Instagram craziness next to your personal life? Whew, that's a deep question to start with. Like, I think you mean with Instagram craziness, I think you mean like also the mental health, the business side of it. Well, back in the days, I was extremely I'm still very motivated, but I felt like I had like a tunnel vision that Instagram had to go well. I felt so much pressure to like constantly post and I was just constantly doing things which I was not really extremely sure of, or I did looks from which I felt like this is going to do very well on Instagram, but it was not necessarily really like my thing, my taste. I don't really get like very jealous easily, so I was not really like, some Instagrammers are really aggressive when it comes to followers and engagement. They are like hungry, and I constantly doubted myself. Am I good enough? I'm not growing. Like, is my engagement okay? And now I completely let that go. Like, I post whatever I want, whenever I want. If people don't like it, I'm completely fine with that. And it just makes me feel so happy. And I do think that it's going to make Instagram a way more beautiful place than if we are all going to compare ourselves and if we're all like extremely hungry. And I also got kind of like rid of the tunnel vision. I don't see Instagram, obviously is my like main income, being an influencer. And now I feel like social media is not like my only focus point. I have so much ideas, and I always felt like, no, like you can only be an influencer, but you can't do anything other than that. So I'm like, I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. So yeah, going to use my natural beige Born This Way concealer. By the way, I was applying Armani Luminous Silk foundation. Okay, next question. Naima Aziz says, if you only have one choice for makeup, what is the thing that you cannot leave without? Ooh, that's a tough question. Back in the days, I would always choose brows, but since I have a little bit more brow hair than like a lot more brow hair than in the past, I wouldn't necessarily choose brows. So I think I would go for this one. Just to get like an all over glow, a little bit of coverage, and a little bit of like a bronzed, healthy glow. Yeah, definitely this one. Okay, quickly going to blend this. Saira Abdul Basir says, how do you maintain your mental health? Do you mean like, I'm not sure if she means like in general or when it comes to social media, but I do think it's the same. Well, I always thought that I was a very strong person when it comes to like mental health. I'm like extremely down to earth, maybe a little bit too much sometimes. But when it comes to mental health, obviously my husband is very much down to earth. Like when I behave some kind of way, he will always mention it. He's very, very honest with me. If I act like a biatch, which I actually never do, but if so, then he would say it to me like immediately. So yeah, I definitely value his extreme like honesty, and I'm exactly the same when it comes to his like behavior and mental health. I think that's how you grow, not only individually but also like together. He's so extremely supportive, and I'm so happy with him. I do consider myself as a little bit spiritual, so I always listen to, like, when I feel down, I listen to high frequency songs. I just type in high frequency good energy vibes songs on YouTube, and then I use like a, I think it's called an essence, you know, the, I don't know what it's called in English. We say wierook, but I think it's like, it's not essence, it's something like that. Wait. Incense. Okay, I use an incense, you know, to make me feel good. And I unfollow everyone who doesn't give me a good feeling. So if someone is, I don't really get insecure very quickly, but if someone is not really like inspiring me or adding value to anything, my creativity, my life, I just unfollow. No hard feelings, but I just unfollow. And I think you should do too. If I make you feel, let's say, insecure, if you don't get good vibes from me, if you just like tired of seeing my face on your gram or on YouTube, like, you have to unfollow. Like, I really don't mind. I think it's mental health is so much more important than like my ego, just because like you unfollowed. And I really don't get heartbroken. So if you feel something like, you know, this is a little bit off, and I don't think she's like very nice in real life, you have to unfollow everyone, even if it's not true. This is just for your mental health. You can always follow her or him later if you feel like, you know, following again. So that really helps, I think. What absolutely kills your mental health is comparison. I used to compare myself to not beautiful girls, but more like smart, business-minded girls. And I was like, you know, I'm almost like, in 2 years I will be 30, and I wanted to do that and I wanted to do that. Everything I did was kind of like half. And like, I stopped comparing myself, and because everyone has a different journey, we all come from different places, not everyone has the same chances. So once I did that, I felt so powerful, I felt so good about myself, I felt beautiful, I felt strong, I felt so much more like feminine. Going in with Hula Caramel from Benefit, very warm bronzer, but I love it. Okay, Sapi Sorap says, where are you from and where do you live? So my parents are from Turkey. We are from Kurdish origin, so I consider myself like a Turkish, Kurdish, and Dutch. No, so I live in Holland. I've been born in Holland. If you don't know where Holland is, it's the Netherlands, Amsterdam. I live an hour from Amsterdam, but like our country is so small that if you go north, in 2 hours you'll be out of the country, and the same goes for like west, east, and south. So it's like a super tiny, small country. Jasmine Split says, have you ever had no confidence in yourself, and how did you deal with that, if yes? You guys are asking me deep questions. Obviously, I think like everyone had, at a certain point in your life, had like no confidence at all. I did, but it was not related to the way I looked, because even if I like gained weight, even if I didn't like my nose, so it's no secret that I had a nose job, but I knew that I didn't like my nose, but it's so weird. It was not like really making me insecure when someone else would say something bad about my nose. Like, I didn't care about their opinions at all. I just looked in the mirror and was like, okay, so I gained a little bit more weight, so I know that. So when someone else tells me that, I already know, so it doesn't make me insecure at all. But I do have to say that it was quite tough when it came to like making decisions on my own. I had to be like mature pretty young, and I did felt lonely at some, like, especially as a woman, I did felt lonely sometimes. I had no self-confidence because I felt like everyone was a little bit more intimidating to me. Like, it felt that way. And I felt like, oh my God, I need to come across like very strong, or else like everyone can like take advantage of me. I would say from 18 to 23, I definitely struggled with self-confidence, even though like no one really saw that because I'm very good at masking things. How I gained a lot of more confidence is doing everything that scared me. Like, I went out of my comfort zone. I talked to in front of like hundreds of people at school. I did everything from which I got a little bit of anxiety. Now I'm way more confident, strong, mature, and all that. So do things out of your comfy zone. If it scares you a little bit, it's good. Just do it anyways. You'll be like, was this everything? So yeah, just go for it. Okay, the blush that I'm going to use is Kendra from Navla Cosmetics. .xxx says, have you done your lips? I did. The funny thing is that a lot of people think that I just do my lips like, what, 4 times a year? It's actually 1 or maybe 2 times a year, but it really lasts on my lips. Like, I haven't done them, the last time I did them was, I believe, January. So, and I don't feel like I should go again because it looks like already like full enough. And the weird thing is that if I just get them done, no one really mentions it, no one really sees it. But after like 6 months, they're like, oh, why do you do your lips? They look awful. They're so thick, so pouty, so full. And I'm like, whoa, I haven't done it in 6 months, but apparently maybe it moves. I have no idea. But yeah, I did. Nose and lips only. Angie LRO asks, what do you need to make a YouTuber career work out? Well, it's not like I have a huge career on YouTube, let's be honest, but I do think that a lot of people, it's very good that you asked though. I do think that a lot of people think they need to be dramatic, they need to be in gossip, they need to like mind other people's businesses and put it online in order to get big. And you will get big, but not like I don't think you'll get big in a good way. Like, I personally don't understand like how a lot of influencers can sleep after gossiping so much. Like, even looking at it, I just get so much negative energy that I don't even look at it. So I would say just be genuine, honest. It's going to be very scary at the beginning. Like, sometimes I still find it a little bit scary to really open up. I'm opening up a little bit more and more and more because for some reason I do think that my subscribers are the best. Like, when I check out the comment section, like, we all come from different places. It's so multicultural, and it's just what I stand for. So I get more in my comfort zone, and I just like to open up a little bit more. But I would say just being honest, just being you. Don't rush into anything, and don't try to make it as your career, but just do what you love, and then eventually it'll end up being your career anyway, I think. This is from Memes 222. Desperately need a tutorial for very dark circles. Have so many concealers and correctors, SOS. I'm quickly using the Jackpot and the Trophy Wife highlighter from the Private Society Glow Getter palette. But I definitely feel you. Like, I don't really have dark circles anymore, but I used to have very bad dark circles. I always went in with a very heavy concealer. It looked so cakey and dry. You could still see my dark circle. It actually looked way like heavier than just my dark circles. I've never used a corrector as good as the Armani one. So the Armani corrector in number 2 does miracles. I know it's expensive, but you just need the tiniest bit. Just go in with a very good corrector Armani, and then Born This Way concealer, and try that one. Maybe a concealer with a little bit of like a salmon undertone, depends on the color of your circle. If you have like purple blue circles, I will go in with a concealer that has a little bit more of a peachy undertone, and don't apply too much. That's definitely key to having a good flawless under eye area. Umi makeup says, want to see a husband does my makeup type video. Yeah, I do want that too. I think we have like a discussion every day. Like, I want him to do it, and he says like, yeah, just give me a little bit more time. So that's the only answer I'm getting. Like, give me a little bit more time. Just maybe stalk his DM to kind of push him to do it. Okay, Bushra says, how did you speak English very well? Well, the thing is that people who don't speak English, or who speak English a little bit, luckily they think that my English is very well. Native English speakers, I do think that you have another opinion. I'm trying to improve it by reading books, English books. I'm trying to improve it by not using subtitles, Dutch subtitles under a movie. That's kind of like how I improve, because otherwise I don't really necessarily speak English. I do think that like when I go to the States or to London, I have to speak English. It improves so much quicker and so much easier. It's like easier for me to speak English. Nothing is more frustrating than not being able to express yourself. So I do think that language is very important. Okay, so quickly making it a little bit more smoky with the Natasha Denona Safari palette. I didn't want to make it that smoky, but it's okay. It's not really dramatic. Like me is Shanti says, is it easy to wash your hair with the tape-in extensions? At first it was very weird, but now I just kind of got used to it, and I do think it's easier to wash your hair with tape-ins instead of a wave. I also had wave, but I prefer tape-ins more. Next question is from Migen Nagasi. You're so beautiful, and which is your favorite foundation for dry skin? So when it comes to dewy foundations with a light medium coverage, I would say Maybelline Dewy and Smooth. That one is like a dream come true for dry skin. Dew You is also really amazing from Too Faced. What else? Love Armani Luminous Silk, which I'm wearing right now. So yeah, that is pretty much it. I think I have a bunch, but those are the first three that came to my mind. I applied Sosu lashes, beautiful lashes actually. Sosu lashes in GG, which are super natural. Take a look at the difference. It's beautiful. I'm applying a little bit of the Stellar mascara from BH Cosmetics. So next question is from Manolyak, and she asks, did this industry change you? XO Manos. Did it change me? Babe? Did this industry change me? Okay, my husband says it didn't change me. I don't think it changed me. And if it did, it's because of a few things, I think. The thing that I do find a little bit awkward and uncomfortable is when I'm being recognized on the streets and when someone doesn't really mentions it but looks at me like the whole time while I'm having dinner with my husband. So that is very uncomfortable, especially if you're eating, you know, as your job. Like once people learn that this is your job, they kind of act weird. They kind of act like they act weird. They want to impress me, and then they're acting like really tough and cool and all that, as if I'm like getting impressed by that. But they do think for some reason that they can have advantage on something. They want to use your friendship for products and like really superficial things. So you get a little bit more like, I don't find it very easy to trust people. But that's nothing really new actually, because it takes a long time for me to really show my heart to someone that I trust. Next question is from Shame MX. I really want to start making videos and grow on IG, but it seems impossible. I don't think you should focus on, I know this sounds very cheesy and you don't want to hear this, but I don't think you should focus on growth, but you should just focus on why you want to do it in the first place. And I assume that's because you want to like share your makeup tips. You have a lot of love for makeup. Maybe you're not afraid for the camera. And I do think a lot of people are extremely hasty when it comes to having success or making like something that you love as your career, but it takes time and patience. I really didn't expect anything from social media. If I can't live off of social media anymore, I would still do this because I genuinely love it. So yeah, that would be my advice. I just hear like beep. I think you'll hear this because it's quite loud. Okay, we're almost finished. I'm going to choose one of, I love this. I can immediately see, you know, what color it is. But yeah, I think, should we do like, I haven't done like mauve lip in a while. Quickly going to powder my face first with the Peach Blur from Too Faced. Especially in the small lines right there. Okay, so for lip liner, I'm going to use this Golden Rose lip liner in 518. Let's move on to the last question. Which one should I choose? Oh, I got so many sweet messages as well. I think a lot of you will be interested in this question. So Nadia Bereda says, how do you get enough makeup at the beginning to try out without a lot of money? As I said, when you want to do tutorials, whether it's on YouTube or Instagram, you just have to like figure out why you really want to do it. Obviously, everyone wants to like make a career out of something that he or she loves. But I do think like you have to do it because you love it. Otherwise, you can't like hold on to it forever because you will get bored eventually, because it takes a lot of patience. I also know that there were a lot of girls who took PR very personally. I think that's BS. They don't send you PR because they like you. It's just marketing. They just send you PR because you have a following. So my advice would be go to, I don't know where you live, but go to Target, go to a drugstore. Ooh, this is too nude. I would say just start reviewing drugstore products, and whatever you have, even if you have 3 products, review them. The positive thing is like a lot of brands, they focus on your work instead of your following, which I love because, you know, like you don't necessarily have to be this huge influencer to get PR. For example, Anastasia Beverly Hills doesn't really focus on following. So I would just buy a palette, try to make a few different looks with it, tag them, and maybe they will notice you. But don't expect your house to be filled with PR. I think the lipstick was a little too nude, but let's try Parker. That's a cute shade. I love this shade. Using a little bit of this Oh Snap color as well. So I hope you guys like it. This was my first Get Ready With Me Q&A video. If you still have like questions for me, comment them below, because I could do like a separate Q&A video. These questions, they kind of like make me go back and show me how grateful I am for my followers, for everyone that stood by me from the beginning, new followers, comments, likes, everything. I know it sounds super cheesy, but I couldn't do it without you, and that is just simply, that's just the truth. So thank you guys so much for everything that you do. I'm not even going to tell you that you need to like and subscribe, which I always do. Today, I'm not going to do that. I just want to say that I love you and thank you, and I'll see you guys hopefully in my next video. Bye!